Welcome back. Still tuned into Halftime Report on CNBC-TV18. Let's get some corporate conversations going now. Keystone Realtors posted a decent set of Q4 numbers. There was a decline on a YY basis. That is because of a high base. There's been decent improvement in pre-sales and volumes on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Boman Rustom Irani, the chairman and managing director at the company, is joining us now to discuss the outlook going forward, what kind of sales they are targeting, and a lot more. Mr. Irani, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here. Well, that's the big question now. FY23, it did see a decline on a YY basis because of that big sale that you'd done in FY22. So a high base effect is what impacted us. But what is the outlook going forward? In FY24, what kind of growth targets do you have? Will it be driven by higher realizations or higher volumes?
Well, Mangalam, first of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. We are very pleased with our results as such because the Q4, our collections were about 700 crores. This itself was a 58% jump over the last year, same quarter. Going forward, we are, as everybody knows, Rustomji is across the entire spectrum of developments. And we've got developments from affordable housing to mid-mass to aspirational and all the way up to super premium. We continue to focus on the mid-mass and aspirational, which is the largest segment of sales that will take place in the MMR region, given the growth of buying homes between the 1 to 3 crore and 3 to 7 crore segment. And over here, we are focused on a 25% year-on-year growth. And we are looking at continuing on this growth for the year 24-25 as well.
So 25% is in the 25% is in the mid-income housing segment, or is it overall that you're expecting?
Overall, the mid-income segment, we've grown from 57% last year to 63% of our revenues this year. And our focus will be to continue growing that segment because that is, and all data reports point out towards that, the largest growing segment of home buying in the MMR region. And we are a largely MMR developer only.
Right. So about 1.25 million square feet is what you're targeting, Boman. Good to have you here. You've also acquired 5 new projects of close to around 3,400 crores of gross development value. Just wanted to know what's the pipeline of project additions and, what are you looking at in terms of FY24 when it comes to these additions?
So thanks for that question. Mumbai happens to be a large redevelopment market. For those who are from Mumbai know very well that, every single day you see ads in the papers for some society or the other going in for redevelopment. Our business development team is extremely focused on all those areas where we are already present, namely Bandra East, Andheri, Borivali, etc. We're also foraying into the newer markets of Mahim, which I consider as a very prime location, Chembur, which is extremely well connected. And for the affordable housing, we're also stepping out of just Virar, Vasai area and going into Kalyan, Dombivali. The idea is to continually be in the JV-JD space. We are an asset-light company. We'll continue to grow in that fashion itself. And the very fact that about 1,400 families have been rehoused by Rustomji so far has actually gotten us these newer redevelopments. And this year, we'll be taking on projects that will be rehousing at least about 600 families more. We are the preferred developer as far as redevelopment goes. At the same point of time, our transparency and ability to churn out larger projects keeps us at the forefront of landowners who are doing joint or who wish to do a joint development and get an upside on the development potential of their lands. And that's how we've even landed Kalyan Dombivali.
Okay, so Mr. Irani, what is redevelopment as a percentage of total bookings? How much can you scale it up to, considering that more of these projects are coming up for redevelopment? And additionally, what is the margin or the cost difference between, say, a redevelopment project versus a project where you are starting from scratch?
So that's a tough question because it's pretty open-ended. But I would like to tell you that as a strategy, staying asset light is at the core of our being. We've always grown on that model itself. We are looking at deploying close to around, given our OCF and given the funds that we have and the tie-ups that we have, we're looking at deploying close to around 1,000 crores this year towards new projects. And when you consider that all these will be only about 10% of the GDV of our developments, we're looking very strongly to penetrate in the redevelopment space as well as in the JV-JD space. To give you an idea, redevelopment is where you kind of rehouse. So there's a very low entry barrier. I mean, a very low entry cost, I'm sorry. But the entry barrier is very high because you have to be a developer that has committed or done redevelopments in the past, because a home for a home is what most people really look at when they look beyond the frills. As far as the joint developments go, we've managed to keep or get extremely sound partners who have given us deals which are, let's say, much better than those that are available in the market. Again, this is because of the trust that Rustomji has built and the kind of square footage that we have been able to build. Just last year, we have more than doubled our construction spend, which will allow us to realize a lot more in terms of value of completed homes in the years to come. We've gone up to 800 crores from 375 crores in the year before. So that speaks highly of our bench strength. On our collections also, we've been about 80% higher than the year before. And we are working on all the parameters that will make us, will keep us on a healthy OCF going forward.
Boman, just a bunch of questions with regards to demand and the supply as well. You have 18 projects lined up with a saleable area of almost 28 million square feet. Just wanted to understand how much of the money required for this has been deployed already, how much of this is left. And on the demand side, what are the conversions like? I mean, how many people who come to actually see the flats end up buying it? And I ask this mainly because everyone's wondering whether, in this high price scenario, are companies able to push on these price hikes, and are people really buying these houses? Because you're not ultra luxury, it's mid to affordable, maybe a little more aspirational in terms of positioning.
So, again, too many questions, but I'll try and address all of them. One, what is the conversion ratios as of right now? I can tell you that depends project to project. In the affordable housing, it is always much higher. In the premium and super premium, it will be a little lower, and projects will get sold more as the progress takes place. We normally maintain a 30 to 35% sale at launch. So to say that the first 3 months of the launch itself, we sell about 30 to 35% of the stock. Again, over here, I'd like to say that, this year we're planning to launch a project every quarter. And already in the first quarter, we've launched 2 projects at GDV of about 900 crores. We've seen very strong demand in both these markets, one of them being Bandra East, where we are well established, and the other being Thane, where we've launched 520 apartments. And I don't know the exact figure today, but on the first day itself, we had more than 100 walk-ins take place. So these walk-ins would normally convert within about 30 to 45 days is what we've normally seen. Your other question, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Just trying to understand whether demand is still as intact, considering that there have been price hikes. The big real estate boom that we are talking about, is that staying, or post-COVID there has been some sort of decline there?
No, it's actually that this market is extremely fragmented, but what we've seen post-COVID and post all the era where a lot of projects were getting held up, and in this era of RERA, like I like to say, there's a lot of consolidation towards brands that are able to deliver. And over there, if I were to just go by the sales numbers that we've been witnessing and the kind of collections that we've been having, I can say that the demand continues to be for the right product at the right price. And again, over here, Rustomji is extremely design focused. We believe in form follows function, and our products are generally right priced. On the BD side, just to add out here, we are across all the redevelopment spaces that are opening up. At the same point of time, we are very, very clear that we will not compromise on our bottom line. And there's no point in just putting money and trying to grab as much of the top line as possible if it does not convert into a healthy bottom line. So internal IC would not allow that.
All right, Boman, thank you so much for joining in and giving us the outlook for the year. Wish you good luck. Hope you go ahead and actually, have the 25% growth that you're targeting, with growth across all the segments that you are targeting as well. With that, we'll take your leave and also slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll focus on